The Midnight Cassette. The days following the first Monday were a blur of locker room whispers and stolen glances. By Thursday, the dust had settled into a new, strange kind of normal. Jake no longer sat at the center table in the cafeteria. He sat on the radiator by the art wing, sharing a bag of salt and vinegar chips with Cassy while she sketched the chaotic geometry of the hallway. But the real test wasn't the school hallway. It was the world outside. Friday night arrived with the kind of heavy, humid heat that only a Midwestern summer-to-be can provide. Jake's cherry red Porsche was parked at the end of Cassy's gravel driveway, the engine idling with a low, expensive purr that felt wildly out of place next to the rusted swing sets and weathered porch steps of her neighborhood. "My parents are expecting me at the club for the spring gala," Jake said, leaning against the car door as Cassy walked out. She wasn't wearing a gown. She was wearing a thrifted tuxedo vest over a lace camisole, her hair a wilder-than-usual halo of teased dark curls. "And you're going to be late," she teased, reaching into her pocket. "I'm not going," he said simply. Cassy stopped. "Jake, your dad is the chairman. If you miss this, the prom scandal will look like a tea party. They'll take the keys to this car. They'll probably send you to that military academy in Vermont your cousin went to." Jake looked around at the modest houses, the flickering streetlights, and then back at Cassy. He reached into the glove box and pulled out a blank TDK cassette tape. "Let them. I spent 17 years being the person they wanted. I'd rather be the person who spends Friday night listening to whatever you just put on that tape." Cassy felt a lump in her throat. She took the tape from him. On the spine, she had written in messy silver Sharpie, "Side A, the real world." "Get in," she whispered. They didn't go to the gala. They didn't go to the popular kids' bonfire at the quarry either. Instead, they drove to the highest point in the county, an old, abandoned water tower that overlooked the shimmering lights of the city. As they climbed the rusted ladder, the wind catching Cassy's lace and Jake's varsity jacket, the sky turned a deep, bruised purple. At the top, they sat with their legs dangling over the edge, the world below looking like a circuit board of neon orange streetlights. Jake popped the tape into his portable recorder. The first few seconds were static, and then the haunting, melodic synths of a deep-cut new wave track filled the air. "I made this for you," Cassy said, her voice small against the wind. "It's all the songs that remind me of before, and the ones that remind me of now." Jake listened in silence. He realized then that being popular was just a loud, crowded room where no one actually heard you. Being with Cassy was like this water tower, quiet, high up, and a little bit dangerous. But for the first time, he could see everything clearly. "I have a confession," Jake said, looking out at the horizon. "I never actually liked the jazz records my dad collected. I just wanted an excuse to see you every Tuesday." Cassy laughed, a bright sound that cut through the synth music. "I knew. You were holding the Miles Davis record upside down the first time you came in." He turned to her, his face illuminated by the pale moonlight. "You let me keep coming back anyway?" "I liked the view," she shrugged, but her eyes gave her away. Jake leaned in, and this time there were no lockers, no statues watching, and no expectations. It was just a boy and a girl on top of the world, caught between the decade they were born into and the future they were building with their own hands. As the tape reached the end of Side A, Jake took a pen from Cassy's sketchbook and wrote something on the other side of the cassette. "Side B, U.S. "We have 1 month until graduation," Jake said. "Then we're out of here." You, me, and your sewing machine. Cassy leaned her head on his shoulder. The tracks that used to divide the town were still there, glinting in the dark below. But from this high up, they just looked like lines on a map, and they were already miles past them.